What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? It's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with us. Thank y'all for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show on a Sunday. On a Sunday. What's up, friends and family? I don't expect for this to be a very long show. We should be here about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. But I am making up this show for Wednesday. And then more importantly, there's been some breaking news out there in Stockton, California. So we'll get to that shortly. What's going on? You in Sacramento? What's up to my it's a fun day stream. Sacramento, right outside of Stockton, California, has been a hellhole for at least 30 years. I'm sorry about that, Steve. I'm sorry about that, Steve. You're not dreaming. You're not dreaming. We here. Live from, yes, I am in Tampa. I am in Tampa. It's so funny that we talking about Tampa because um I was on my live stream, or not a live stream. I was scrolling up on Instagram, and then I jumped on TikTok for a minute, and I wanted to see what the sentiment of the people are here in Tampa. And so, I always like to see what other people are saying before I get here, even though I've been here before. I think the last time that I've been here was probably, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or something. I got family down here, so I came down here to visit family, but I've been out in the streets, right? And let me share my screen with you guys really quickly. Hold on, let me see if I can get it up for you. I pulled up a couple different videos. One of them appeared on my timeline, and then I just randomly ran into another one. And this is what the sentiment of the people here in Tampa is. Let me share it with you.
Everyone talking about how Tampa has to be literally the lamest city ever. Like, it used to be fun, but now it's like really not. Same clubs, same bars, same clubs, same bars, same people, same people, same people. Low vibrations, low vibrations. Let me continue. Especially if you work in the clubs, hoes mad, management mad, everybody mad. No, not that much money. Huh? Always in somebody's business. Huh? Hard to make friendships. The men don't even get me started. Terrible, terrible. Hoes mad, men terrible. This, like, come on. Not even done yet. Same restaurants. Meat Market, freaking Ocean Prime, Fleming's, Blue Chris, Charlie's. What? Clubs, Bird, 511. Nothing. Same shit. Different day, same shit.
People, I've come to the conclusion that people are just boring people. You are the environment that you put yourself in. And my experience here has been nothing but great. It's great. Now, granted, I will tell you that a lot of my family actually live out in the suburbs. So they stay like 30 minutes outside of Tampa. So I have to kind of go out of my way to go visit grandma and go visit one of my brothers and some of my uncles and all of that. But in the city, in the city, whether you in downtown Tampa, whether you in Ybor City, whether you in some of these spaces and these bars and all of that. I love Tampa. I love visiting Tampa. Would I live here? Probably not. Could I live here? I could absolutely thrive here. But I've had a ball. I've met so many people. I've met white people, black people. They have a mixture. I talked to the girl at the gas station, literally right up the street. And I was asking her, what did I ask her? She said something. She was talking to somebody. And I said, you've been born here, born and raised here your whole life? Because I'm a people person. I just talk to people in regular life. I said, you've been born and raised here? Yeah, yeah. I said, how old are you? She said she was like 26, 25, 26 or something like that. I said, how you like it? Oh, I'm ready to move. I said, you ready to move? Why are you ready to move? I've been here all my life. I said, what do you mean? What does that mean? You know, because all I do is go to work and come home and go home and I'm ready to move. So for those of you that go to work and come home, there's nothing wrong with going to work and coming home. But for those of y'all that go to work and come home, what makes you think that your experience is going to be any different just because you go to work and come home in another city? You're not going to experience anything different because most of y'all are boring people. She sounded like she was from Louisiana, to be honest with you. I thought she was from Louisiana. But she said she had been in Tampa her whole life. She was born and raised. Y'all gonna be the same boring people no matter where you go. If you're a boring person, you're going to be a boring person. The city, it is not the city's responsibility to turn up for you. You keep going to the same places, going to the same clubs, hating the same people, hating the same restaurants. Chances are you are a hater. You are a boring person. I was looking at another guy's post, and he was talking about something.
Florida less than a year ago. This is something that I notice in people out here. I've noticed that it's very hard to meet genuine people and people who want to be cool with you based on just who you are, just straight personality. Like I've noticed a lot of people out here, they are cool with each other based on like what the other person can do for them. Like, so if you're popular, if you own something, if you have money, if you have connections to this club or to this boat or to this place or to that place, to this event and that event, like I notice a lot of people here are cool with each other based on things like that. And I haven't seen a lot of like genuine people who just want to be cool with you for just like who you are as a person, just straight personality, your soul. Like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a lot of like genuine connections out here in people.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Um, Thank you. I appreciate you. I hear this same conversation no matter where you go. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for letting me know what's going on. I hear this same conversation everywhere you go. It don't matter if you go to Pittsburgh, Miami, Los Angeles, Houston, Vegas, Detroit, Atlanta, New York. Everybody say the same thing about every city that they go to. Oh man, people don't genuinely want to be your friend for this. It matters if you got a boat, if you got a car, if you got a business, you got this, you got that. Like at some point, it's like, okay, listen, people want to attract themselves to people that do some of the same things that they do. I'll give you an example. Let's say I go somewhere and I meet people from all walks and creeds of life, and I meet rich people, poor people, all of that, right? Most of the time, people want to be around people that can add some level of value into their life. everybody wants to be around other people that's valuable. Now, let's say, for example, you are the less valuable person. And I'm not saying that that's this guy right here, but let's say you're the less valuable person. Why should they let you into the group? Why would somebody want to hang out with somebody that don't add no value to their life, whether it's emotional value, spiritual value, financial growth, some of that, right? Like it's value, and you want to be around people that are similar to the value that you add. What if you're the only person that's adding value into the group? You see what I'm saying? Like, are people just supposed to welcome everybody just for the sake of I get that people are supposed to be polite. I get that people are supposed to be cool. I get that people are supposed to speak. But what are y'all expecting? What do y'all want people to do? So when you come to a city and you move there for the first time, or if you've been there for a long time, is everybody just supposed to be like, hey, no, listen, let's just be in our social circle? You have to put yourself out there. You got to work for relationships are work. A lot of the reason why people are more lazy than ever before now is because don't nobody want to actually work for the relationships that they have. It takes actually putting into it time, effort, emotion, all of that stuff. All of that stuff matters. Like everything happens and plays out in relationships. You have to be out there. You can't be playing video games all day and then think you're gonna go to the gym and you're gonna meet 50 people that wanna work out with you every day. No. Most of the time it's familiarity. You go out and you see people multiple different times. It's like, yo, what's going on, man? I've been seeing you here every day. What do you do? And then you introduce yourself, and then y'all might make a connection, or y'all might just be cool, or y'all might see each other 2 or 3 more times, and then y'all like, hey, man, or you might see each other out, right? Hey, bro, man, I was just working out with you. I know you come here too. It's going out regularly. It's participating. It's familiarizing yourself with people. You're not going to get 1,000 numbers and everybody want to just hang out with you the first time that you go out and stuff. You have to be a social butterfly. I just met some people literally at 11:15 in the morning. I went to if y'all from Tampa, it's called the Cine Bistro. It's a dope movie theater. It's a bar. It's a bar, movie theater, all of that. They give you a server and all of that. It's a dope place. I go up to the bar to get a drink because I wanted to watch this. I actually went to watch Zootopia too. That's funny. I went to see Eternity last night, and I went to see Utopia too because we're gonna talk about it on film fights on After Hours tonight. And so I went to the show this morning at 11 o'clock in the morning, and I met like 4 or 5 different black women. And the way that I met them, and we got into this 15-minute conversation, it kind of helped me. They made me miss my previews, but we got into like a 15-minute conversation because I went up to the bar, and they were taking a picture with the Wicked sign. It was Wicked at the bottom. It was like a little yellow brick road with Wicked. It's like, oh my God, can you get this picture for us? And they asked me to take the picture. Yeah, I got you. So I take the picture, and I take it in landscape and portrait mode. And I'm like, do y'all want to get the Wicked sign on the bottom? I got to put it in 0.5. They're like, oh yeah. So I did it both, and I get it. And then we just get into a long conversation. We just start talking, and it just started being relevant because I was ordering my drinks. And then we just get into this long conversation. Next thing you know, hey, yeah, y'all can follow me on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? We talk on Instagram or whatever, or y'all send me information. Y'all tell me what's happening in the city, what's going on tonight, all of that. And so it's just being a regular social person. If you are a social person, you will have no problem meeting people on a regular basis. You will never have a problem meeting people on a regular basis. But people are apprehensive. They only want to stay in the house. They don't want to work on their social skills. I love Tampa. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think I can thrive anywhere I go. It don't matter if it's Tampa. It don't matter if it's Miami. People say, oh, everybody in Miami is stuck up. That wasn't my experience. That wasn't my experience. From Brickell to Miami Beach to Little Haiti to what was the neighborhood I stayed in? It was Coral Gables. I did a lot of walking around in Coral Gables. I was in Overtown. I was in Wynwood. I spent a lot of time in the design district. I met a lot of people.
And I'm cool with a lot of people in Miami. I didn't notice anybody that was stuck up. I didn't hang with anybody that was stuck up. It was just a fun experience. So my time here in Tampa has been enjoyable, to say the least. It has been very enjoyable. They've treated me well. Life was good. So when people say it's boring, um, Little Haiti was fun. They had a lot of dope local restaurants, like a lot of hood restaurants that I liked over there. It was dope. It was really dope. I don't be having problems with people, man. I don't have the same issues with other people that other people be having. So Ken, you said, see, this is perfect right here. You says, hold on, what he say? Let me see if I can find that again. He said, I'm a mix of introvert and extrovert. It's not hard to be kind and find common ground. That's a construct that you got programmed into your mind based off of societal norms. Ain't no introvert, and extrovert. Those terms are only meaningful to people that adopt them. Y'all took a test or you looked at yourself compared to what somebody else said and said, yeah, I'm introvert. I don't like people. That's because y'all want to classify yourself so bad. You're not any of that. You are just what you want to be, right? I like this. I like that. You listen, I'm out here. I'm out here. We conform to societal norms based off of this construct that we put in our mind, and it's not true. The only thing that's true is what you claim to be true. You said it's cold up north. Yeah, it's cool. I like all seasons. I like all seasons. We'll get there. We'll get there. So yeah, man, it's just you gotta break out of these constructs that they put in there for you. Um, and you keep on putting yourself in this box. You're not that. You're not that. I'm just a grumpy old man, but I do like people sometimes. See, when you say that, you program yourself to think that. You live what you say. The power of life and death is in the tongue. When y'all proclaim yourselves to be something, you're basically putting that spirit on you. I know y'all don't believe in the spirit realm. I know y'all don't believe in principalities. You don't believe in spirituality. When you say stuff like that, it's a girl that I know that I beat it into her head all the time. Stop saying negative stuff like that. She'll say stuff like, "Oh, he like me sometimes," but she'll be joking. And I'm like, "Why do you say that shit? Stop saying that." Like that is like when you're around girls, for example, and a girl be like, "Oh my god, nobody likes me. Nobody wants to talk to me. Oh my god." It's like hey, why is Tasha K denying your greatest? What does that mean, your greatest? What does that mean? Walk on wood. What does that mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. What does that mean? Before I get into this Stockton, California conversation, what does that mean, walk on wood? I love interacting with the chat. Let me acknowledge some of what's going on. You got to give me some insight. What up, Bitcoin Brown? Waka, what are you talking? I don't understand what you're talking about. Here, I tell you what. I hate going back and forth trying to understand people. Shout out to Walamala. She mentioned me during the Charleston White. Okay, tell me what she said. You don't have to be on camera. Just come and tell me what she said. Give me the 30-second snapshot. We have what's the name of it? Film fights tonight at 8:30 Eastern tonight. She had an interview with Charleston White and brought your name up and he gave you props. What's the timestamp? Shout out to Mike, that dude. I appreciate you, Mike, that dude. Walk, I can't. It's saying that your device is not connected. Shout out to Mike, that dude. I appreciate you. Anthony, what up, Anthony? I appreciate you, Anthony. Malachi, what up, Malachi? My friend. Orlando dude here in Miami. People chill as F. I stayed 3 to 6 months back in the day. Yeah, I like everywhere. I don't have no problems with nobody. I stay everywhere. Yeah, send me the timestamps and we'll go from there. Man, that Kevin Hart special was ass, by the way. I think that a lot of people are influenced by what other people say. I don't understand that. I enjoyed it, but I seen it in real life. I seen it at the Fox Theater, and I had a ball. What do I think about Sterling Heights? I think that if you go to Sterling Heights, it's a nice neighborhood. It's pretty safe. And you will have to go out of your way to be more social. 112.53. Let's see what Tasha K talking about. YouTube. Tasha K. Charleston White. What is it? 112.53.
A lady's under $1,000 between her and Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown probably getting 500,000. But them doing bad, bro. I used to front them interviews. The dancer gave him 1,000. He was getting 5. And you know how much they were paying her? Under $1,000 between her.
Then I was in Vegas. I'm at the Vegas hotel. She had me hostage. So she got a room across the street at the other hotel and was watching me with binoculars on. They believe this shit got over 2 million views.
Do you know how much they were paying her? Under $1,000.
What are they talking
between her and Orlando Brown? Orlando Brown probably getting 500. He was getting $500.
Is he talking about the conspiracy theory chick?
The dancer gave him 1,000. So between him, they wasn't getting no $2,000 and $3,000. That's why they committed to her when she went to jail. They're trying to get a lawyer. They never got a lawyer.
Yeah, probably.
They never got a lawyer. Them doing bad, bro. I used to front them interviews. With a 2 million platform. I used to front them niggas interview. Give me a little bit now because they didn't have it. Because it's 7 in one pot.
Is he saying that about the Dancer Project? Hold on, let me rewind this shit.
So between him, they wasn't getting no $2,000 and $3,000. That's why they committed to her when she went to jail. They're trying to get a lawyer. They never got a lawyer. Them doing bad, bro. I used to front them interviews. With a 2 million platform. I used to front them niggas interview. Give me a little bit now because they didn't have.
Y'all saying real life? All right, I got to rewind it. Y'all got me invested now. Let me see what the fuck is going on.
Quit going to the platform. So, story. I know a jailhouse talking motherfucker when I see one. I listen for truth.
He talking about real life? Okay, thank y'all for giving me the insight. Let me see what's going on.
He never heard her tell the same story twice.
She forgets. You forget your lies.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's why I quit going to the platform. So I wouldn't go on no platform that I would see her on. I'm too credible to go anywhere anybody done booked her to go.
So you ain't been on that blue couch yet?
I stopped going because of that.
Real life.
Cause I'm saying, I'm not gonna go be on the platform. There's nobody that just sit up and lie. And y'all, I'm not gonna do that.
And they put it out.
And y'all put it out there.
Yeah.
They was given a cease and
I lost
desist.
100,000 followers when I interviewed her and called her a liar. The public was pissed.
She a lying bitch.
And when I tell you, I had to slow down. She talked so fast. She sat up on the blue couch one day and I had to play it back for them because she talked so slick they couldn't even understand it. She said, oh yeah, Tasha K chased me, her and her husband with Clive Davis. And these believed it. And I say niggas, they believed it. So they said, yeah, I was in Dallas. And then I was in Vegas. I'm at the Vegas hotel. She had me hostage. So she got a room across the street at the other hotel and was watching me with binoculars on. They believe this shit got over 2 million views.
Do you know how much they're paying her? Under $1,000. Between her and Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown probably getting $500. He was getting $500. The dancer gave him $1,000. So
he just mentioned the dance of people, and then he's talking about real life street stars. So she said the blue couch. Jaguar White used to do a lot of going up to the real life street stars. I did an interview with real life street stars. I don't charge for interviews though. I just go up and show love. If I'm in a city and I do an interview, I just go up and do the interview. There's other people that charge, and then I don't necessarily charge either.
Between them, they wasn't getting no $2,000 and $3,000. That's why they committed to her when she went to jail. They're trying to get a lawyer. They never got her a lawyer. Them doing bad, bro. I used to front them interviews. With a 2 million platform. I used to front them niggas interviews. Give me a little bit now because they didn't have it. Because it's 7 in one pot. I used to front them.
So what about Anton? Daniels. How y'all doing?
That's my boy. Anton, that's my boy.
But let's just be honest. I do have to point this out. And shout out to Anton. I just no hate. But that's your platform.
No.
Charles.
Explain.
That's not your platform?
No, explain.
You didn't build that platform?
Nah, he built it, the consistency of it. He and I were hit the consistency that he maintained, even when I got mad at him.
But you don't feel that the reason they know Anton is because of you.
Dan's a bunch of them. We
don't quote what Anton says. Like your videos go viral. Your content, what you say. And shout out, like, I mean, I kind of feel like there's a lot of people that just kind of ride people's coattails. They know that they're famous. They know that they got something. And so they ride you. Do you feel, and this is no shade, I'm not trying to interrupt your podcast money or anything like that, but you got to know your power too.
Yeah.
How many podcasts have you built down here?
At least over 2 dozen.
Without your content, it wouldn't even be done.
Yeah. Well, that's what I came to do. That's what make me valuable. That's what make me valuable.
But how do they sustain without you? Because I feel like you could have, like, what's his name? Andrew Tate. Like, Andrew Tate cannot keep a podcast in his name. Mm-hmm. But when he goes and sits on other people's podcasts, like, the value that they get from that, so he maintains it.
So I did a podcast that did good for many years, but because everybody waiting on me. If I don't come up and show up, my team don't feel like it ain't worth it. And I'm saying we just need it going. Y'all can do it and fill it in. So they want me to hike the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball, kick the ball, and I'm trying to perfect the comedy game.
I feel that.
Yeah, I'm trying to perfect the comedy game.
I was arguing with some people about you the other night, and they was just like, he ain't no comedian. I said, no, Charleston was always a comedian.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Charleston White. First of all, I don't look at this as shade at all, whatsoever. I don't look at this as shade as whatsoever. I think that Tasha K is she giving her opinion. I don't look at this as a mad thing. I don't look at that as anything like that. And then Charleston is a real one. And so he was like, no, he did it with consistency, even when I wasn't there. The one thing that Charleston could never say is that I wasn't doing what I was going to do regardless. And I'm going to give y'all a life lesson on this also from a consistency. I am multi-platform and I'm multi-subject. Whether we talking about politics, relationships, money, local news, panels, or my vlogs, I built my platform personally. And I'm gonna speak on what she said in a minute. I built my platform personally to be able to support if I do an interview or if I don't do an interview, because you can't depend on people for your platform to do whatever it is that it does. So I'll give you an example. I'll give you a real life example right now. Let me see if I can find it for you. Charleston White. And I don't look at it as hate. I think she giving her opinion, and that's cool. So Charleston, the last time that I interviewed Charleston was August 2028, right? So let's go September, October, November. Let's go last 3 months. In August 28th, that is when I dropped Charleston White interview. Let's just go last 3 months, okay? I'll also show you the views that I did from that. Give me a second. See if I can get that. Analytics. Over the last, since published, we're going to go since published. All right. Since published, that interview did 850,000 views. It did 363,000 watch hours. And this is not to prove anything to anybody. This is just to give it in context. I want to show you how to look at analytics. It did 856,000 views, 3.7 thousand subscribers. Shout out to my dog Charleston, because every time that we connect, we do big views. All right. Now, for comparison purposes, I'm going to show you since September. All right. That was August. This is September. Okay. For the last 90 days. Now, this is my channel overall. Now, remember, we did 3.7 thousand subscribers, 3.7 thousand subscribers from that video alone. Okay. Now, for comparison purposes, we're going to go last 90 days. Y'all don't want to see that revenue number. It's crazy. Let me move over from that because it's too many numbers. I don't want to do all of that. Last 90 days, September 1st through November 29th. So that's yesterday. All right. I'm going to move over. I don't want to show you that because then y'all going to be like, that's crazy. So for the last 90 days, I did 242 million views. That's by myself. 7% more than the previous 90 days, 22% more than the previous 90 days watch hours, 8.7 million watch hours, 242 million views on one channel. $290,000 new subscribers in the previous 90 days. So when people say, and again, this is no shot at Tasha K. Charleston is my guy. We got a new interview that we about to set up that we about to be doing soon. I want to put things in perspective because I don't want people to think that anybody built me. We work together. We do great content. I pay him for his services. He comes up and he gives me a great interview and great content, and we do awesome things. I don't know if Tasha K does these type of numbers by herself. And again, I'm not hating the same way that she wasn't hating on me. I'm not hating on her. I just want to be clear. I do these numbers by myself. For comparison purposes. Charleston does big numbers when he comes on my platform. He does great interviews for me. I love my guy, Charleston. That's my dog. He did 850 since published. He did 856,000 views, 363,000 watch hours, 3,000 new subscribers for me. On my own, and that was in August. That was his videos in August. On my own, I did 242 million views in the last 90 days alone, 8.7 million watch hours, 290,000 new subscribers. And I would be glad, listen, if my next Charleston interview, because the only thing that I would disagree with her about, is her saying he built my platform. I think that he contributed significantly, the same way that Oprah interviewing somebody that did big numbers, or, let's say Shannon Sharp interviews Cat Williams and it does big numbers, or Club Shay Shay interviewing Cat Williams, Cam Newton doing a great interview with somebody. It's supposed to do big numbers. Nobody does interviews with somebody so that it doesn't do big numbers. You're bringing them on. Brian McKnight has done crazy numbers across all platforms. I pick and choose the guests that I come on my platform very strategically. I have 413,000 subscribers on this platform, and I have never done an interview of anybody on this platform. So that's all I'm saying, right? Like, it almost seems as though, other content creators are kind of throwing shots, and I don't know if it's because I'm actually chasing all of their platforms now. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's because they stuck in the mud and I'm still doing whatever it is that I want to do when I want to do it, saying what I want to say. And it's just be me by myself. And so when I then do an interview with somebody, they add to what I'm already doing. But everybody know that they're an asset, a +1. It's not because I need no help. Honestly, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think this is a Tasha K thing alone. I think that there are a lot of people that are paying attention to the meteoric rise, and they're trying to nullify, or they're trying to act like, oh, he not that good. Oh, he not that relevant. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I stepped out in Tampa. I step out in Pittsburgh. I step out in Atlanta, and it's like a movie. I can't go nowhere in my city without it being a thing. So, I mean, but you also can't blame her either. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame her. Like, she a content creator, and so she has to ask the questions. Bro, shout out to Tasha K. She's a great content creator. If you're a part of this game, you know what it is. You can't blame Tasha K for asking a question or to get more insight You know what I'm saying? Like that's what she does. That's what we do. So shout out to her. I don't look at it as a problem. I don't look at it as hate. I don't look at it as none of that. I think she might not be as familiar. Don't even respond because it ain't that serious. I don't think that it's a bad thing. I don't think she listen. This is what I got to say to y'all, and then we're gonna jump into the Stockton conversation. You can't get mad because content creators are creating content. You can't get mad at her for saying that. She cool. It's cool, bro. Like, if you're going to be a public figure, you should be able to take when somebody say something. Now, if I shoot back at somebody, then I think that is warranted and they shouldn't get offended either. I'm not shooting back at her simply because I don't think that it was a bad thing. I don't think it was a big deal. I don't think she said nothing wrong. Hello? Hey, baby. Oh, that's because you want to go shopping. Okay, so you don't need me to take you to the airport? You don't need me to take you to the airport?
No.
Okay, baby.
So wait. So am I gonna see you tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I love you. You coming to the game with me tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, bye. Yep.
All right, bye. All right, bye.
Bye.
All right. But no, I don't look at it as out of pocket. I don't look at it as out of pocket at all. Maybe me and Tasha K might do something. We might do something together. Maybe I'll interview her. Maybe I'll go interview Tasha K. Where Tasha K at? I'm gonna go interview Tasha K. How about that? I'm not gonna say I'm gonna interview her because she gotta react to that. But all I'm saying is, listen, everything is not offensive just because somebody asks a question or just because somebody insinuates something. That don't mean that they hating. It don't mean that somebody is saying something negative. It don't mean none of that. So you don't play with Tasha K clip note. I don't know what does that mean. Come on, my G. You done said more for less, my G. Handle this before it gets started or stay muzzled. What? What are you talking about? Y'all just messy. That's what that is. Bro, I'm not even in a space mentally to where I feel like somebody is hating on me. I don't, it ain't that big of a deal, bro. I know y'all want me to get in the mess. Y'all want me to throw a shot so it could be clip it up. Oh man, this is a sound bite and all of that shit. Honestly, it's just not, I don't look at it as that. I don't see her saying anything. She asked him a question, he answered, and then she tried to push him a little bit on the answer. I didn't see nothing wrong. What he said, I didn't see nothing wrong with what she said. So, look, when you do the numbers that I do, it's hard to get mad. I'm not easily offended. Now, if it's a man that says something that I feel like crashing out on, then I might go down that path a little bit more, but I don't know. Listen, here's what I say. This is my final answer to that, and then we going over to Stockton, California. Here's what I say. Let the numbers speak for themselves. Last 90 days, 242 million views, 8.7 million watch hours, 290,000 subscribers on the Anton Daniels channel alone. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So if somebody built me, I will say I appreciate it and thank you for the level up because I'm definitely going to capitalize off of that shit. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. I don't have no reason to crash out. I'm rich. So if I'm not much of a talker, but more of an observer and listener, is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. You got to contribute into the conversation also. What's up to my baby Mika? AD is the king of this. Let's go. What's up to my baby Mika? Yes, 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 yes. But shout out to Tasha K. Shout out to all of the content creators. Shout out to everybody that's doing numbers. Shout out to everybody that's running it up. All right, y'all. Let's get over to Stockton, California. Stockton. Oh, let me make sure I switch over to YouTube Preem for y'all because I got to make sure we get all of this information. It's really a tragic situation. What's happening in Stockton, California?
A celebration turned into chaos, and now sheriff's detectives are racing to find the gunman who unleashed deadly gunfire inside a Stockton banquet hall.
This tragedy has left the community there reeling. Eyewitness News reporter Madison Wild joining us live from the newsroom with the latest. Madison.
Yeah, Tim, Irene, this is just a horrific story. We're told 4 people were killed and 10 others wounded in what investigators say may have been a targeted shooting at a child's birthday party. This happened just before 6 p.m. yesterday at that birthday event at a banquet hall in Stockton. Deputies say this all started with an argument that escalated. Several people were immediately rushed to the hospital as police and investigators arrived on scene. Eyewitnesses say they heard several rounds of gunfire.
There was 3 sets of gunfire. The first set there was a lot of rounds. I'm not sure exactly how many, and then they sounded kind of fireworky, and so I wasn't really too concerned about it. But then the next 2 sets came. Gunfire came probably maybe a minute later, and then all of a sudden there was all these police were here.
At this hour, the names and ages of the victims have not been released by officials, although we know the victims included both kids and adults. The mayor of Stockton says she's been in communication with Governor Newsom, who has offered support at the state level to assist law enforcement agencies in any way they might need.
This is Thanksgiving weekend. This is when families come together, celebrate, share memories, give each other love. And unfortunately tonight, heaven is a little bigger with the individuals, children and adults that unfortunately did not make it.
They I think that they're purposely trying to withhold the information as far as the identity of the people. I've noticed this a lot when I go and I look at, what's going on in the culture. Let's say there's a mass shooting. They didn't even used to report it as mass shootings. They used to report this type of stuff as just gang culture or family domestic violence turned deadly, all of that type of stuff. Now they're starting to report it as a mass shooting. Some people saying they Mexicans, some people saying it's trash culture, it's Hispanics. Well, I haven't seen anything. Let me see if I can find something about that. Those slang were ages 8, 9, 14, and 21. The injured people were 9, 12, 15, and 22, up to age 22. 10 people injured, 4 people killed. The ages of the people that was killed was 8, 9, 14, and 21. That's crazy, bro. It appeared that the shooting was targeted as opposed to a random attack. This is crazy, man. So that is what the New York Post is reporting. I can't tell what the identity of the victims are as far as like if they were Black, Hispanic, what. Stockton Vice Mayor Jason Lee said the shooting happened at a child's birthday party, calling it a tragedy for the community 90 miles east of San Francisco. That's crazy, bro. And then I did report on this yesterday about that West Valley Fair Mall shooting, where that was an argument that broke out. An adult female and a 16-year-old girl was struck by stray bullets. All three victims was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. A verbal argument turned violent when an armed suspect pulled out a gun and allegedly shot the man he was arguing with. But then they saying one over in Stockton, California was completely different. They saying that was targeted. But even when it's targeted, that don't mean that it's random. A lot of people are trying to tell me that it was Hispanic, that it was gang related. And it could be Hispanic, it could be gang related. I'm not saying that it's not. What I am saying is two things. I'm saying, number one, that as a person with a responsible platform, I have to be a lot more careful with how I leverage my platform with the information that I have. So I have to be 100% sure. It is sound. Y'all just gonna probably have to refresh if you can't hear me. It could be exactly what y'all saying, but I need to get it official. Let me see something. Yep, this is what the people are saying that they are, that they look like. So, according to sources, the targets of the mass shooting tonight at a child's party were Stockton-based rappers MB Nail and Flyboy Doey. The party was reportedly for the rapper Nano's daughter. These reports are coming from the street sources and law enforcement, but remain officially unconfirmed. So officially, you can't necessarily say that this was true. But unofficially, according to the streets, they're saying that these are the type of people that was there. This is fucking insane, bro. Well, I'll tell you what. When these people decided that they wanted to become rappers and become a part of the culture, they picked the worst part of the culture to rock out with. They certainly picked the worst. Let me tell you what the difference is between them and between us. This is the difference between them and between us. All right. Black culture, the majority of the things that we celebrate the most is pretty fucking degenerate, right? But the one thing that I will say about us is we don't play around when it comes to the kids, bro. We don't play around when it comes to the kids. We cannot. That's the one thing about us. That's where we draw the line. We pretty fucked up ourselves. There's a lot of stuff that I think that the culture needs to fix. But the one thing that we don't play around with is the kids. We don't fuck around with the kids. And when you think about the fact that all of these people that got hit and wounded was under 22 years old, it was a children's birthday party, and they killed an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, so on and so forth. That just showed me that we need to ban you motherfuckers from coming over here into this country. Absolutely wrong on that? No, I'm absolutely right on that. We don't willingly put our kids in a negative situation. Is it a possibility that a stray bullet can happen? Is it all of that type of stuff? Yes, but don't nobody listen. We don't purposely target children's birthday parties. I'm not gonna let y'all lie. I'm not gonna let you lie. I'm not gonna let you lie and say that 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds are a part of that type of shit. I'm not gonna let you lie on that. Nope. I let y'all get away with a lot of stuff. And I know y'all want us to be the bottom of the barrel, but we not. We not. And I'm not gonna let you lie. We don't target children's birthday parties. We don't target 8 and 9-year-olds. That's not what we do. That's what you do. That's what you do. Y'all, listen, y'all, let me tell you, y'all wanted to be down so bad. So what y'all did was y'all went and adopted the way that we wear our chains. You went and adopted the way that we wear our clothes. You went and got the tattoos on the neck and all of that shit. You picked the worst parts of the culture to adopt, and then you took it 3 steps further. Now you got children that are 8 and 9 and all of that shit. They dead. They did. Oh, now you butt hurt. Oh, you butt hurt. So y'all mad because I'm not including us in your bullshit. So when I hold Black culture accountable for the shit that I see and I say Black fatigue, it's not a problem. Hey, yeah, listen, no, we tired. But when I hold your degenerate fucking culture accountable, now you want to get offended. You want us to be a part of what you got going on. No, that's a you problem. You degenerate, dumb motherfuckers decided that y'all wanted to go and shoot up a bunch of kids. And instead of you holding your essays accountable, go hold essay accountable. Don't come over here getting mad at me, nigga. You can suck my dick. It's Saturday or Sunday. I don't give a fuck. You can suck my dick. It's the weekends. I don't have to give in to your degenerate punk ass culture. Fuck you. You a degenerate. You want to rap? You want to be over there in Stockton, California? I know it's the majority of y'all over there. Black people don't even be over there doing no shit like that. Like, we got our own problems, but y'all are the majority of the population over there doing that dumbass shit over there. You Asians and Hispanics, y'all want to be over there. Y'all want to pretend like y'all are y'all the creme de la creme. Like, all right, come on. Let me tell y'all about yourself. Let me read you real quick, because I read white people, I read Black people, but I've largely skipped over y'all because I haven't spent a lot of time focused on the news on the West Coast. But let me tell you about you loser ass cultures, right? Because the one thing that Black people got wrong is that they keep pedestalizing y'all, thinking y'all better than y'all really are. But let me tell you about yourself. They hid it from us, y'all. They hid it from us. They tried to hide it and act like that they was better than us because they have a segment of the population. Yeah, this is what you wanted to do. All right, we'll get there. They hid it from us because they tried to make it seem like it was a segment of the population that was actually a representation of all of them. Y'all blame white people. They turned us against white people, Black people, so that they could try to make it seem like that they wasn't doing the shit that they was doing. Let me tell you what the truth is. White people is a minority of the population of the world. Asians and Hispanics. All right, now you're really going to get me there. What they do is they do this, right? It's a ton of you motherfuckers, but most of y'all are poor. You're poor all over the world. There's a portion of you that is doing exceptionally well. A portion. That portion tends to send their children over to our universities to be educated. As much as y'all say that y'all beating us, y'all not. China is not any more innovative. They stole all of our ideas and then they pawned it off as they own. And we leverage them in order to make our products. And in turn, they leverage the world to try to build up their own culture. So what China basically did was sacrifice their own people. Let me tell you the truth about China. Let me tell you the truth about world culture. China sacrificed its own people so that it can then build up its own infrastructure, and it used a bunch of child labor, it underpaid everybody, and it became a communist country. The reason why they limit information and that they're not actually an open democratic governed by a republic and they don't have their own constitutional laws, but it's controlled by a communist party, is because they want to control the type of information that we over in the United States of America get about them, right? And they sent the best of the best of what they can find because they weren't smarter than the people over here in the United States of America. They sent them to our universities. So most of the time they want dual citizenship, so they'll finesse the system, come over here, leverage birthright citizenship. And this is one of the reasons. See, the fight for birthright citizenship was not about illegal migrants coming into the United States of America. It was about other people taking advantage of what was designated for descendants of slaves to ultimately get the rights that they deserved because they didn't have any option of being born here. It wasn't for people that were trying to voluntarily come over to the United States of America, have their children here, and then have dual citizenship. They then sent their children over to the United States of America to be educated by our institutions, right? And then the rest of you motherfuckers don't really count. So when you go over to Japan, if you go over to China, a lot of y'all are outcasts. A lot of y'all are a part of the old country. You can't even speak Mandarin. You speak Cantonese, most of y'all. Y'all speak the old language. A lot of y'all still live in the countryside. And then the rest of y'all that snuck over here, the Mexicans, the Hispanics, the Asians, the Indians, some of y'all came over here on a work visa. And I'm going to be real with y'all. Black people, white people, Indians are not smarter than you. I managed them. Most of them niggas was on a PIP. Most of them was cosplaying, acting like they knew development and programming, and they didn't know shit. They were some of the dumbest software engineers that I've ever seen in my entire life. They finessed. They gave the perception that they were smarter than you so that they can build up their communities. And this is how they try to cosplay and pretend like they better than you. The worst of the worst is still in their country. The worst of the worst, a PIP, a performance improvement plan. That's what they were on. Most of them are on PIPs. They're lazy, they slow, they come over here a lot of times and they pretend like they know what they're doing, and you can outperform them 10 times out of 10. I'm going to tell you the truth. And then the rest of them is over there in California on the West Coast, right? And they killing each other. They'll sit here and have you white apologists trying to protect them by saying, no, don't deport them. But the reason that Trump is deporting them is because they think that California is Mexico. And that's why you have so much cartel activity. And the ones that's not a part of the cartel act like they are part of the cartel. And then they take the worst part of our culture, the part that we don't even want, the part that we advocating against, the part of the culture that I say is the worst. They take that and they go times 10. And that's why you got an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 22-year-old dead right now. We not even out there like that in California. We not even out there like that in California. So I want y'all to understand something, right? And I rock with everybody based off of the content of their character. But if we talking about cultural norms, they not smarter than you. They not wiser than you. They don't have more money than you. It is a portion, a small concentrated portion over here in the United States of America that generate the most revenue because they are privileged and blessed based off of what they family have built for them and put them in a position to do. But they have whole cities dedicated to keeping these motherfuckers out of the public eye and outside of their own culture. They segment themselves. They cut themselves off from you ignorant motherfuckers. That's the truth. And it don't get no more honest than that. So do not let these people try to sell y'all on the idea that they great and they awesome. They poor as fuck. They come over here, they scam. A lot of them can't get any education. They over here illegally. They then create restaurants for themselves because they have no skill set to be able to provide for themselves. They get on government assistance. They leverage these stupid, dumbass, liberal Democrat politicians, get on public assistance, open up a restaurant, use that food stamp money to then buy some of the same products that they sell into the general public. And then they'll tell you that you too lazy to do what you're supposed to do. You're not lazy. You just misinformed. You need a little bit of motivation. You need to get out of the victim Olympics. The reason why I hold us so accountable is because I want you to do better. What they don't want me to do is hold you accountable because they don't want you to get out the rut. They want you to believe that they are better than you and that you are inferior when in reality, you just don't know no better. You operate out of ignorance. Wake up. Wake up. They kill each other every day, B. Over in Mexico City, they rioting. They rioting right now in Mexico City because of the corruption. All over the world is horrible. It's horrible. You think that it's great in China? Let me tell you something, bro. Just 20 years ago, they couldn't even breathe over there. All of those masks that they used to wear over there in China is because they were sacrificing their own people to build up their own economy so that they can sell to the world that they actually a first world country. It was smog everywhere. It looked 10 times worse than the worst days in California over there in China. Shanghai, Beijing, they basically used slaves to build up Dubai, China, Russia, all of these places. They're not better than you. They're not more innovative than you. They was just willing to sacrifice their own people because they lacked humanity, but then they framed it as communism and socialism. And now you taking it and saying, oh my God, America is so behind. No, we give a fuck. That's what it is. We care. We care. They not great like that. They not, I studied the culture. I studied the language. Mandarin, Poton Kwa. Ni Kwe Shwa Poton Kwa, Ma Wa Kwe Shwa EDR Poton Kwa. I can speak it fluently. I know they selling you that Mark Lamont know how to speak Spanish, but he can't speak Chinese. He can't speak Mandarin. He can't speak that shit. He can't, man, don't let these autistic niggas try to sell you on the fact that you inferior or you need the system to help you or you need food stamps. They can't help you. They can't do shit for you. Don't let the smooth taste for you just because I got a C in class. It was because I knew where the money was. I did what I had to do in class so I can go and get some money while you niggas was studying a white man's books, the history books that winners wrote for you so that you can go and beg them for something and you can become community advocates. You just broke, nigga. That's what that means. You're broke. You're just broke. It doesn't mean you're any more knowledgeable than anybody else. It doesn't mean that you understand history better than anybody else. It doesn't mean that you're actually freeing your people. It doesn't mean that you're educating anybody. It doesn't, just because you speak about Israel, nobody give a fuck about that. You ain't affecting nothing that happened over there. These niggas just be talking. Asians, Indians, Hispanics, all of them. They cosplaying. Everybody in the world. It's not America. It's not you. Remember, you live in the greatest country in the world. It's the reason why they're trying to get over here. Don't let them trick you out of your spot trying to convince you need to go live elsewhere in the world. No, the greatest country is right here. We got the greatest military. We got the greatest infrastructure. We still it. It's just that they trying to trick you out of your spot. It's the reason why they trying to get here. They trying to convince you that they better over there. Trying to get you to give up your neighborhoods, your hoods, your mama's property. And so they tricking you out by having you vote based off of diversity, equity, and inclusion so that they can run you out of your neighborhoods and then buy that shit up at a small discount. They did it in Detroit. They trying to do it to Chicago. They doing it in Memphis. They about to do it to St. Louis. They doing it all over the country. Keep on trying to letting them trick you out your spot. Letting them trick you out your spot. I'll tell you the truth if you really want to hear it. See, I play this game with y'all on the internet because it's entertaining. But I'll tell you the truth if you really want to know. It ain't these little, man, let me stop. Y'all about to get me on a rant. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. You about to get me going, bro. They are degenerates. We are the salt of the earth, and we have the best place to do it. Take advantage of what's happening here in America right now. Liars. They all liars. Stockton is my hometown. We've been having gang issues over here since the 90s, and all the people moving in from the Bay ain't helping things out either. Projects Maddox says Kendrick Lamar saved the community. He donates a lot. Shout out to Man. I appreciate you, bro. Y'all only reason y'all are the way y'all are is because y'all don't know no better. If you had somebody to tell you the truth, you would do better. And I'm gonna keep on being on you. I'm gonna keep on pushing you. I'm gonna keep on holding you accountable. I'm gonna keep on using myself as an example and showing my receipts. And I'm gonna keep on trying to motivate you and giving you and empowering you to do better for yourself. You better than all of these people. We faster, we stronger, we smarter, we wiser, we got bigger dicks, and our women still adore us regardless of how much they act like they hate us. And I'm gonna hold everybody accountable. Y'all ready to continue on with the show? I don't even know what I'm about to talk about next. What are we talking about? Let me see. We talked about Tasha K, Stockton, California, Tampa, you degenerate motherfuckers. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about what up, Lex? What up, Lex? They want us to be out. They want us to be mad at each other. Baltimore D-Dot employee dies after an assault. 10 million illegal migrants entered under Biden. Sexting results in 16 men arrested. Let's talk about Amazon. Little Rock, Arkansas. Amazon is closing down in Little Rock, Arkansas. Let's get to it. Y'all can't hear the video? Why is the video got no sound? So y'all can't hear the sound of the video at all? Let me see. Give me a second.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can do it again. Hold on. Let me know if y'all hear this.
Facility right here in Little Rock. Officials announcing they're closing the doors for good.
It's a decision that has impacted thousands of employees. THV 11's Maya Ellis.
Can y'all hear that? All right, bet. Let's get to it. Shout out to y'all for letting me know.
And here's from some of those workers.
That was a software issue. That don't have nothing to do with me.
And provide some answers to lingering questions about the facility.
Well, it was last week when Amazon officials announced the closure of its Lit 1 facility because it did not meet building code. And questions haven't been, what about my packages? But what about the thousands of people who work inside the facility?
Very disappointing. It puts like a sour taste in your mouth for the company in general.
Georgie Wagner received her offer letter to work at Amazon's Lit 1 facility starting October 30th. She couldn't imagine that she would never walk through the doors of the facility again.
On October 29th, I got a phone call from Amazon Job Teams, which is who does the hiring. And they were like, hey, look, we're having issues with the facility, but we're going to pay you for your time until your next start date, which was, I think, the 13th.
Amazon officials say they were informed of the building's structural flaws, prompting officials to announce a 3-day closure on October 22nd. That date was extended from November 7th to the 21st.
13th rolls around and I get another phone call. Hey, we're pushing it. We can't open yet. And then on the 19th, we got emails saying that we're terminating everyone that was a seasonal employee.
In a statement, Amazon officials say, quote, errors in the initial design of the building and failing to meet seismic code leaves them to indefinitely close the doors of the 4-year-old facility. 4,000 employees inside the 3.6 million square foot building, now without a job. And while Amazon says employees will be provided 90 days of pay and transfer opportunities, Wagner explains that's a category she doesn't fall under.
When they posted saying that they were paying all of their full-time employees, I was like, no, they're not, because you just fired a good portion of your employees that hadn't even got to start yet, but you were paying us to work for you.
For Wagner, she says it's a burden that leaves her uncertain about where to go next.
That's messed up. So basically what's happening is Amazon has to shut down a facility, and I did a little bit of digging, right? And is basically indefinitely closing a facility because of structural issues. Building design errors. Hold on, let me pull this up. Building design errors. The firm, Stantec Engineering Firm, is a firm that worked on the building. Reached out to Amazon and asked about the closure, to which they shared that they conducted a full review with the help of outside experts. During the review, they found that the structural engineering firm that designed the Lit 1 building made errors in the initial design of the facility. After the review, Amazon shared that the building is in need of significant structural repairs in order to meet the seismic codes that ensure the safety of the employees in the facilities. Now, see, this is the one situation where you can't blame Amazon or big business as a result of it. And the reason is you have to blame the engineering firm. The engineering firm, they said it has been there for like 4 years. The engineering firm didn't do their job. Didn't do their job. Now, if something was to happen and the building collapse or something that structurally goes wrong with the building and a bunch of employees die, guess what? Amazon then would be found liable. Everybody would get a lawsuit. Families would never be able to get their people back. So while people are mad and they saying to the people that actually worked in the facility that was full-time employees, they're going to get 90 days pay and they may try to relocate them and stuff like that. And I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything that says that Amazon would reopen the facility. I would assume that they would work on the structural integrity of the building while people wasn't in it, and then try to get it back open within several months or so, or within 6 months to a year. But if something was to happen to that building while people were in it and people were to die or to get injured, it would then fall on the shoulders of Amazon. And so they have to shut it down because the structural integrity, and this is what I mean by infrastructure. This is what I mean by having certain people in the government. You need certain people to meet certain standards, because if you just let everybody run roughshod, then everything would be liable, and you can't do that. But you can't put people's lives at risk because they're facing a much, much, much bigger lawsuit.
if anything was to happen. Yes, the building collapsed during a tornado. Yep. And so they got to take care of the structural integrity of the building, and they can't put people's lives at risk. This isn't even something that y'all should be mad at. This is something that you should applaud them for. I know we give big business a lot of shit, and we say that they bad and they shouldn't do certain things and all of this stuff. But I can't blame Amazon for saying that we're going to shut down a facility and we need to fix this, because if you don't fix it, then everything is going to be bad. Why are y'all skeptical of everything? Listen. This is the one thing I know for sure. What is there to be skeptical about, Magnetar? If they say the structural integrity of the building, because the one thing that Amazon don't want to do is lose a day of production. They don't want to lose a day of shipping. They want the infrastructure. Amazon champions infrastructure. They want data centers. They want warehouse facilities. They still racing against every other competitor to get stuff to you faster. They want to own the world. All right. They want to compete with Elon Musk on launching rockets. They want to do all of that. Don't mistake somebody's capitalistic intentions and try to say, oh man, I don't know about that. They want the building. Ain't no way in the world they don't want to own the land. They want to own the building. If the engineering firm didn't do their job, if Amazon could, they would fix that shit while everybody is working at the same time. Why didn't they get a warning? Why didn't who get a warning? The structural integrity of the building is messed up. What else do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? Why didn't who get a warning? They giving them 90 days pay. And they relocating anybody that could be in there. The warning is the building is fucked up. That's what the warning is. Why aren't y'all holding the engineering firm that designed the building, the local engineering firm? All right, let me tell y'all how a lot of these major manufacturers do. All right, and this happens from housing to data centers, all of that. One of the ways that they get these subsidies is that they promise the local economy that they're going to bring jobs into the area. Part of the jobs that they bring into the area is by hiring certain people. Okay, they hire builders, plumbers, engineers, engineering firms. They hire all of these type of people to come into the environment to do some of the stuff that they're doing. Amazon is not in charge of infrastructure. Amazon is in charge of funding and planning and working with whatever's happening in the local economy. And if they can't find somebody that's local, then they'll bring somebody in. They are in charge of funding the project and then investing in the infrastructure. When you think, listen, some of the very same contractors that work for me, work for Pulte, work for Lennar, they hate, that's how I know so much about the building process and how a lot of these trash ass homes is garbage, because a lot of these, and I'm not going to say the names of the ones that cut, a lot of them cut corners, or a lot of them don't want to pay their contractors. That's why it's easier for me to get these contractors to do my stuff than it is for them to actually do it on these large manufactured homes, because it's the same plumbers, it's the same excavators, it's the same engineers, it's the same drywallers, it's the same, all of the same people. So they go into an environment that has local whatever, and they give them large contracts. They hire the engineering firms that are licensed to do the work that's in that area. And so if they don't do the work that they're supposed to do, or they don't meet the expectation, and it gets past the inspectors, it gets past the city, it gets past all of this stuff, then somebody got to be accountable for it. The engineering firms, their reputation is on the line. They were supposed to get it right. When you see these large skyscrapers, that's bid on. Like, let's say, for example, somebody has built, Chase just built a building in New York, and it costs all of these billions of dollars. That's a collaborative thing that is brought together, right? And that process is bid on by multiple different contractors. They try to segment portions of it out and say, well, we got to have at least this percentage of it for the local economy, and you have to be living, working, playing in this area. All of this stuff, right? All of that stuff is bid on by local construction companies, engineering firms, manufacturers. I have some of them that work in the same building with me that I got my studio in. All of the architectural firms, a lot of the architectural firms work in my exact same building on my floor. That's a part of the bidding process, right? That happens all across the world. The Obama Center over in Chicago. Mostly local firms, local businesses, local construction companies, local concrete companies. And that's why it's such a fight, because they like, hey, listen, you hired these people because you insisted on it being a black contractor to pour the concrete, to pour the majority of the concrete on this structure, and it's cracking and it's got cost overruns. Why is this happening? So you can't always blame the big companies. You can't blame the Amazon for them shutting down a facility because it's unsafe for the people to work there. And now you got layoffs in that particular area because everything has to work in tandem. And it's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. All y'all see is the finished product and the name that's on the building. You don't actually see the engineering firm that designed that piece of shit that's not working. That's why it's not always best also to go with the person that gives you the cheapest quote. The cheapest quote may not be the best for business. I don't always go with the cheapest. I go with the one that's the most reputable, the one that speak good things, the one that communicate the most effectively, all of that. Everything. That's why it's good to have a good general contractor that oversees scheduling different people out, the architecture and engineering firms. All of that stuff matter, bro. It all matters. I don't just go with the cheapest. I go with the best, because the long-term investment is going to more than pay for whatever it is that I paid on the front end. I'm paying them back. That's why I don't like flippers. That's why I don't like people that jump in and just buy something cheap to fix it up really quick to sell it, because they're trying to do it at the minimal cost to get the maximum profit. Now, when you get people that actually design to build something, I seen a bridge that just fell over there in China. Hold on. It was a bridge that just collapsed in China. Because y'all keep saying how great they are. 3 weeks ago, it was a bridge that collapsed in China. Y'all didn't see that 2 weeks ago? Just months after opening. Y'all don't look at it at the international news and shit, do y'all?
2,500-foot bridge recently opened in southwest China, gone in just seconds. Officials saying a landslide is to blame. But no reports of casualties, as authorities say they had closed off the bridge to all traffic a day prior to the collapse, after local officials discovered cracks in the structure, saying the ground surrounding it was unstable. Dust consumed mountainous terrain in the area, and chunks of the bridge fell into the river below.
You got to account for all of that. But see, we'll just champion them and say, oh, no, they're better than us. They throw shit up so fast. And that junk be shit. They don't be putting no rebar in it. They use a certain grade of concrete, all of that junk. They don't account for the infrastructure and the terrain and all of this stuff, man. I'm not saying that we do stuff the best all the time, because we got some lazy motherfuckers out there on the street. But you know what I'm saying? So you can't get mad at Amazon. You can't always get mad at the big company. It's not always a big company. All right. I just seen in Hong Kong, not Hong Kong, somewhere, multiple different buildings burned up. All of these buildings, like how far away you build from the person, sprinkler systems, fail-safe systems. I remember when I opened up my first restaurant, I had a bad attitude because the fire safety kept extending when I can open, because I had to make sure that the hood and the hood suppression system was all installed, and I had to pay extra money to come and bring it. I had to tear out the old one because they put in too small of a hood, and I had to get another one, and it cost me $142,000 to build that out, to build out the whole place altogether. Shit was a headache. But because a lot of people ain't never invested their own money and they never did nothing, it's difficult for them to understand how to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? It was Hong Kong, them apartments in Hong Kong, so I was right. Yeah. Anyways, read a couple of super chats and get y'all up out of here. Remember, we got frame fights tonight. Thank you, AD. Also, thank you for the 6-hour podcast Friday. That was carrying them. Carrying them kept that junk going for 6 hours. I was like this. Y'all was singing, doing karaoke. I had to catch a flight the next day. What up to Showcase Classics? Hi, Anton. How do I find investors to pitch my app? Should I ask them to sign an NDA first so that they do not steal the idea? I'm totally new to this. Any guidance helps. It depends on what the app is. What do you mean? What needs to be built on it? Send me an email. Send me an email at antondaniels413@gmail.com. Anton, can I do field reporting for you in Texas? I do need to build out a network to eventually do field reporting, don't I? I got to figure out what the damn, how do I set that up? You got me thinking. Let me figure this out. Magnetar, what up to you, Magnetar? I appreciate you for the 5 ball. Thank you to everybody that hold us down. Frame fights tonight on After Hours. And we back at it at the Millionaire Morning Show tomorrow on the Millionaire Morning Show. I will be doing it in studio. And then on Tuesday, hopefully I'm thinking that I'll be able to get back to eventually getting back into the in-studio part, the actual part where I usually do the Millionaire Morning Show. Got some updates, some changes, some updates in camera, software, a bunch of stuff that I got going on. So, all right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Just wanted to kick it with y'all for a little bit. I love y'all. What up to Riri? Riri in the building says I'm taking notes. Big up. What up, Riri? What up? Somebody sent me a $500 thank you on a video the other day. I want to give a shout out to them. They sent me a $500. You know, like if you're watching a clip or you're watching a one of the videos that I drop or whatever, I want to give a special shout out to them. Shout out to David R. Foote. I wanted to say this personally. Shout out to David Foote. I appreciate you. Sent me that 500 ball. Says you find and post patriotic truth. And so many Americans can feel but don't have the venue to say it loud and clear. Always grateful for your work, hard work, and content, Anton. Shout out to David, one of my biggest supporters. Sent that to me. I appreciate you, David. I just wanted to let you know I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Molly. This is Queen to you too, says for the Sunday collection plate. I like these Sundays. I like streaming with y'all. Shout out to Molly. I appreciate you, babe. All right, y'all. Frame fights tonight. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all tonight. Peace. Me, Slimmy. I don't know who else coming on, but me and Slimmy will be there for sure.